G'day and welcome to the Crusty Bus Driver. As you may or may not be aware, buses these days are all fitted with cameras. And with modern technology, a lot of them also have audio as well. So what we're going to be doing today is bringing you some of the things that bus drivers say to their customers. Now we do encourage bus drivers to speak to their customers and be very polite. But is it customer service or just plain rudeness? I'll let you decide. The first situation I want to bring up is two pregnant ladies walk onto the bus. The driver looks at the first lady and he says, "Oh, you're looking so radiant. How long have you got to go?" She says, "Oh, I've only got 8 weeks." He said, "Fantastic." As he looked at the second lady and said, "Well, what about you?" She looked back with a stern look and went, "I'm not pregnant." He went, "Oh, that's okay. So you're just eating for 2. Now that could possibly be a fairly common mistake that we've all suffered at some stage in our lives. But the next one I want to bring up is a man gets onto the bus and he's only got 1 leg. And the driver politely asks him, "So what happened to you, mate?" And he looks back and says, "Oh, had an incident with a shark." And he looked back at him and said, "Lucky he was only snacking then, eh?" Now that could be taken as a little bit rude, but fortunately the guy saw the fun in it. But the next one I want to bring up is a lady gets on and she's scrounging through her purse for a change. And she looked up at the driver and he said to him, "Sorry about the wait." And he looked back and went, "Don't worry, you'll lose it." Now that was a little bit rude. But our next driver, he sees a flat-chested woman walk onto the bus. And he says to her, "You might be able to help me out with a question I've been pondering with for quite some time." She said, "Yes, no worries, ask away." He says, "If you were born without any feet, would you wear shoes?" She said to him, "Of course not, why would I?" He said, I was thinking the same. So why do you wear a bra?" Now that's got to be a valid question, doesn't it? But anyway, later on that day, exactly the same driver sees a woman with big boobs come on and she's looking really flustered. And she turns to him, she says, "I just can't get abreast of things today." And he looked back and went, "I bet that's the first time you've had that problem in years, isn't it?" Okay, we're pushing up the boundaries here. But I love having fun with the kids, as well as most of the drivers do. But one poor lad gets on one day and he's wearing a Simpsons t-shirt and he's covered in eczema. And the driver says to him, "So you like the Simpsons, do you? Who's your favourite characters, Itchy and Scratchy?" Come on, Itchy and Scratchy. Ah, well, hey, but what about the next one? Now this was a classic. A man gets on with a prominent glass eye. Now everyone knows he's got a glass eye because it's a slightly different colour to his natural eye. And then one day he gets on and he's wearing a Collingwood Guernsey. Now, as much as I hate Collingwood, this was a shocker. He looked him straight in the face and went, "So I bet you're a one-eyed supporter, aren't you?" Oh, but it gets better. I mean, I remember one day, a big fat guy was running for the bus, and as he gets on the bus puffing and panting, he says, "Driver, you made me run for the bus." I said, "Looking at the size of you, you're lucky I don't make you run all the way to work. It'll only do you good." That's got to be customer service, doesn't it? I'm trying to help him out. But it's not all about us getting the best lines out to the customers. Sometimes they get one back on us. I remember seeing one video where the driver looks at this scraggly old man getting onto the bus and he says to the old man, "Can I help you, sir?" And the old man replies, "Don't think so, mate. I'm beyond help." And the driver looked back and went, "Oh, look, sir, we're here to help. Whatever we can do, we're here for you. That's all part of the service." So the old man says, "That's fantastic to hear, because I've got no money. Can I get a free ride to the city?" So what do you do there? You've got to give him the ride, don't you? Then there's the classics we've all heard before. A woman gets on with a massive hooter asking too many questions. And the driver turns to her and says, "You're being a bit nosy, aren't you?" Or the person whose tracksuit pants are hanging down a little bit too low, showing a little bit of arse crack. And the driver says, "Can you stop being so cheeky?" And then there's the one where the guy gets on with the huge ear sticking out, and the driver says to him, "I bet you get a flying start to the day." But one of my favourites was a transvestite gets onto the bus with his shopping, and the driver looked at him and says, "It's good to see you didn't forget the apples." Now, I don't know if he forgot his apples or not, but it definitely did look like he swallowed one whole. But one of the best faux pas I saw was a bus driver on the Gold Coast had a beautiful lady get onto the bus, and he just made comment of what a lovely tan she had, and she replied to him and said, "Excuse me sir, but I'm Afro-American." Okay, sometimes drivers do deliberately mean to be rude, but most of the time it's all just part of the customer service. We're just trying to make conversation, just trying to be friendly, but sometimes foot and mouth disease is something that is quite critical. I remember seeing one video where a driver saw a young lady get on and she was wearing those designer jeans, you know, the ones with the splits over the knee and they're all ripped all over the place, and he says to her, "Wow, you got a gaping hole in your pants, don't you?" Now, realising what he'd said, he tried to correct himself. He's gone, "Oh, no, sorry. I mean, you've got a massive slit in your jeans." Now, he just went from bad to worse. Luckily for him, the young lady just chuckled and saw the funny side and just said, "Well, maybe I should put a patch over that then, shouldn't I?" But it is all about having a bit of fun. And we do try and make your ride on the bus a little bit more enjoyable. So we do try, honestly. But if you've had an experience on the bus where you've had an interesting situation with one of your drivers, go to the website and let us know, because we do want to hear from you, or leave a comment below. So make sure you send in your great stories, because all of the ones that we use, you will win a Krusty Bus Driver cap. So please, catch us on the website. You can also get us on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, we'll see you then. I'm going for a ride on the Krusty bus. The Krusty bus will take me home. I'm going for a ride on the Krusty bus. The Krusty bus will take me home. Take it for a ride on